Merry Christmas. It's almost Christmas. We're about a day away. And so I wanted to make a Christmas video. I decided to take off of work today because most places are off of work. I know on Thanksgiving I did kind of work, or I think I worked only like two orders. And then I was like, you know what? I'm just going to come home. So, anyway, I heard something about the wise men that I found interesting. Is that uh, you know, the Christmas setting of Jesus in a manger and how there's three wise men there. Well, there actually wasn't three. History shows, and from history books, that the wise men were actually a group of wise men that traveled in groups of 50 to 100 and sometimes even 75 to 100, more like 75. So it was a pretty big crowd. And this is found in the Gospels, where I think specifically the Gospel of Luke, where it talks about how when the wise men went to Herod, King Herod, and they asked him, "Hey, when is the King of the Jews? Where is he who is born King of the Jews?" And Herod was like, "What? What King of the Jews?" Herod was like, "I'm king." And so, that's when they went off from Herod, and God, he, you know, uh, warned the wise men, and I think this was in a dream, but I don't think it quite says. But anyway, it says that he warned the wise men not to go back to Herod. And so there's a few things that I wanted to share. Is that it said all Israel was in uh, upheaval, or like surprised when the wise men came along. And so that shows that it was most likely not just three wise men, but a whole group of 50 to 100 wise men that came into Jerusalem. And that's why the whole city of Jerusalem was like, whoa, what's going on? And the wise men, as you know, they were looking at the stars, and they saw the star in the sky. And from that star, they were able to uh, decipher that this was the time of Jesus's arrival. There's a few points that we can take from that. Is that Jesus talked about in Matthew 24, there will be signs in the sun, moon, and stars of the end of the age. And so I think when you keep your eye out on the news about signs in the sky, signs in the stars, signs in the moon, those are something to kind of keep your eye out about for the second return of Jesus. But that could be separate of the rapture. Most Christians believe, a lot of Christians believe that the rapture is an event that happens before the second coming, when Jesus appears in the sky. And when he appears, he takes with him the people who are ready to go into the judgment seat of Christ. But anyway, so the wise men traveled in groups of 50 and 100. And the second point I wanted to make was that um, the wise men visited Jesus when he was about 2 years old. So I know that you could possibly see Jesus in a manger, you know, uh, uh, kind of as a baby. He's, uh, you know, in a manger and as a baby. But, most likely Jesus was actually 2 years old, because scripture calls him a young child and not an infant baby or infant. And how they decipher that is when the Greek writers, there's certain words that describe a certain descriptive insight into a certain word. When you use a Greek word, that it kind of explains a little bit more about what they're talking about, because the Greek word has specific meaning. If they didn't want to use that meaning, they would use a different Greek word. So, you know, I just wanted to share that with you, that, as we are enjoying Christmas, it's just some interesting fact that, there's probably more than 3 wise men, and Jesus was most likely a young child by the time that the wise men came. But also, it's interesting to note that the wise men, they worshiped Jesus, and they worshiped him as a 2-year-old. And so, it's kind of, it brings some light to, sometimes you can have a child where you're like, oh, what they have to say is not going to be world changing. And maybe at the time Jesus necessarily didn't say anything wise all that much, but it's interesting to note that Jesus was worshipped as a child. They worshipped him through giving gifts, and so I thought that was kind of an interesting thing, is that he wasn't necessarily a baby, but he was a young child. And so anyway, I hope you got something from this video. Today is Friday, Christmas Eve, and so I'll try to make a Christmas video tomorrow, and just wanted to leave you with some interesting facts about Jesus. Also, if you would like to become a Christian, I'll post another video today about how to become a Christian, but I'll leave some insight here. It's really simple. So, to become a Christian, you believe in Jesus. You believe that Jesus was on the earth 2,000 years ago. You believe that Jesus is God, is the Son of God, and also God, and you believe that he rose from the dead. And when you believe with all your heart, you get baptized. And by believing and by being baptized, you are saved. Now, some people believe that you can just believe, and that's true as well, where you can believe, but there's no reason why you shouldn't get baptized as well. And so anyway, I'll post another video about if you would like to become a Christian. So thanks for watching this video, and I will talk to you on the next one. See ya.